KP. I'm going to try All of Me. I'm going to play motivically, so like 4 or 6 note motif on the first 2 bars of each line, and try and just do something much more simple on bars 3 and 4 of each line. In all cases, I'm just looking at a third, so the first 2 bars, B flat major, I'm going to do something starting on D, the next line something starting on B, where it's G7, always the third, and but every single chord, just going to start with the third. That's the plan anyway, might not go according to plan. Let's try. I'm going to do it at 160, see what that sounds like. So I just tried to, occasionally I used the third and the 7th, but mostly it was all thirds with a little run up here and there. Okay, Girl from Ipanema. I'm going to use, this is a harder tune really, but because there's a lot of chords, I'm going to use exactly the same method. I'm going to just play little lines that begin always with the third, more or less. Ready? Same thing really, you just got to know your chord tones and your scales. Next one is Blue Moon. Never played Blue Moon before. I don't know what key you're doing it in. My iReal says it should be in F for you as standard, so assuming it is. Right, this, you can simplify this. There's a lot of chords. So in the A section, F major, D minor, G minor, C minor, F major, D minor, G minor, C, 7. So the first two bars repeat anyway, but basically you can just think of it, as I said in my email about rhythm changes, you can just think of it as F, C7, F, C7. And the next line, probably just, you think of it, E flat 7, D flat, no, C7, E flat 7, C7, F. So you don't need to play all the chords, but particularly the first 4 bars, it's just D minor and F major are the same. If you think about it, if you start a D minor 7 from the 3rd, that is F major, it's the same. And G minor and C7 really are the same. It's one thing I'm doing with David Higgins. He says ignore the 2 chords, just play the 5 chord. So I'm just going to loop the first 4 bars. I hope we're in the same key. What should I do? First of all, I'm going to play all the chords. F, then C7, then F, C7. Ready? They are actually the same scale. So a C7, the scale to go with C7 is actually the same scale anyway. So obviously some notes are stronger than others. On the C, you want to be concentrating on the 3rd and the 7th, which is E and B flat. And on the F, the 3rd and the 7th, that's A and E natural. So the E natural is common to both. So if you play an E, you can play an E through the whole 4 bars, you'll be fine. The second 4 bars, E flat D, D flat C, F D, G7. I have not a clue what I'm going to do here, so you might have to bear with me. Just looping those 4 bars, E flat 7. basically I just played the chord tones. 2 5 1 6 2 5 1 sharp 4. So the whole of the first line is in F. So you can kind of play. It's like the reverse of the A section. So the A section is 1 5 1 5. The B section is 5 1 5 1. So you can play the same as you play in the A section, the first part of the A section, but the other way around. So you're starting with C7 instead of starting with F. But then the second line, it's a 2-5 to A flat, so you can just play A flat major there. But really you want to emphasize the E flat 7. Forget about B flat minor, just E flat 7, A flat, and then you've just got C and then C7. So ignore G7. Sorry, C over G, so that's G sus, isn't it? So actually it's like G7 to C. So the second line, E flat 7, A flat major. That's one key. And then it's going back to C. So it's G7 1 bar, C7 1 bar, and of course C7 is the dominant of F. So then you're going back to the beginning of the A section. So I'm going to play from I'm going to play from the bridge to the end, and the first part of the bridge I'm going to play C7F, C7F. Doesn't matter about the B7 sharp 11, forget about that. The next line I'm going to play E flat 7 A flat, and then G7 C7, because it's still the dominant taking you back to F. Clear? Okay, beginning of the B section. So at the end there, it said G minor 7, C7, just play C7. The bar before the end, F major, D minor 7, just play F major. So you've got to try and simplify it out. I think where it has those descending dominants in the beginning of the last line, I think you have to play either miss them out, miss the second chord of each bar out and don't play anything, or just play the third, so that everybody knows that you know the chord terms, which of course you do, because I've been teaching them to you for 37 years. Next, did we do Ipanema? Yeah, we did Ipanema. In a mellow tone. Oh, I like that tune. It's got in a manger, away in a manger, but in a mellow tone is probably a better tune. Right, this is in your C natural. Hopefully we're in the same key. So just quickly look at that. D, G, C, 2-5-1. It's just that the first chord is a dominant, so you've got to play that. If it said D minor G7C, you'd just play G7. But because it's a dominant, you can't play G7 over it, because the F sharp from the D7 is going to hit you in the face. So you're going to play D7, G7C. Now the next line, ignore the G minor. So you've got 2 bars of C7 and then F. The bridge, F to B flat 7, 1 to 4 is very common. It's just moving. Basically you've got 2 tonal centers. You've got F and then you've got C. B flat is within the same key of F, although because it's a dominant it's got an A flat in it. You can probably ignore it. So 2 bars of F, 2 bars of C, The A7 is just a passing chord going to the next chord, which is a D. It's the dominant. A7 is the dominant of D. I kind of have to play it really, so I know what I'm going to do because I don't know yet. Apart from one silly chorus, I just kind of try to play really simple phrases. So like D7 to G7, the third of D7 is F sharp, the third of G7 is F. The seventh of G is F, not the third, but you knew that, right? And I'm just doing a bit of a scale. Just changing when the chord changes. So if I just do those two chords, D7 and G7. And you can just carry that motif on the whole way through, just going to a nearby note which fits the next chord. the first tune we had on Tune of the Week. I haven't played it since. I'm going to try a similar motif just to keep it in the same bag. Go past quite fast, so you've really got to be familiar with those thirds and sevens. Again, to simplify it down, in the second half, D minor, G7, C7. Just play G7 for 2 bars, then C7. Otherwise, just play the thirds. But I'll literally just try and play the thirds and nothing else. See how that sounds. Here we go. Not as successful playing the sevens. I gave up and played thirds because it doesn't really work. So well, thirds, that's the answer to everything. On the sunny side of the street in our D major, hopefully you're in the same key. The G major is still part of D, so D major is the 1 chord, G major is the 4 chord, and then you've got B minor, E7, which you would expect to go to A major, but it goes to A7 because it's going to take you back to the D. There's E minor as well, but E minor and A7, remember, they're the same. So B minor, A7, you think it's going to take you to A major, but it takes you to A dominant because there's then another little turnaround to take you back to D. Yeah, so I think D is the tonic, not the G. Okay, so let's go. It's at 100 beats per minute. F sharp 7 in bar 2, I sort of ignored it. I quite often played an A natural, which is a bit of a clash, but it's the sharp 9, so you can kind of get away with it. But I don't know what the melody. Maybe the melody has an A sharp in it at that point. I don't know. I don't know the melody. Okay, let's try it again. Now I've kind of got the hang of it. So basically, you play the whole of the first line more or less in D major. The second line, you just play E7 for 2 bars, forget the B minor, and then you can just play A7 for the next 2 bars in the first time bar, A7 through the whole thing. And when you get to the second time bar, A7 for 1 bar, D for 1 bar. Then in the B section, you've got a 2-5-1 and G. So the whole thing is in G major there, but if I was you, I'd play D7 for 2 bars, G major for 2 bars. Next line, same as in the A section, B minor, E7, you think you're going to A major, but it's going to A7. Remember, you're going to ignore the E minor. So E7 for 2 bars, A7 for 2 bars. Then the next line is the same, then it's the same as the A section. So let's try that. That was long, wasn't it? 33 minutes. So I guess just pick bits out and just try and copy them if you like them, or ignore them if you don't. But thirds, really simple little phrases. Music is the space between the notes, so not too many notes. I know I'm guilty as charged, but leave lots of gaps and chord tones. Good luck.